Da, 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 da. When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
What's going on, man? We back. Another day, another Sunday. We're here at the Transition Talk Show. We got another enlightening show for you today. We have a young woman, man, who we'll be interviewing today by the name of Kanta Sykes with Kreative Unicorn. But man, first before we get into it, we just gonna have this little time to just reflect and look at some things. I was just sitting up. I was sitting up earlier today, and I was just asking. I was looking at some things about deception, and I asked myself. I was like, can people really deceive you, or is it really how you feel about yourself that leads to your own deception? Because we have to understand, man, that actually, we attract who we are. So a lot of the things that come into our life, it really comes because actually it's who we are. So when you begin to start looking at things and saying that you feel deceived or anything like that, first take a look at yourself and evaluate yourself and actually see what's going on with you or anything like that. So man, just think about that. Again, do you feel that you can be deceived, people can deceive you, or do you really think that it's you, your perception on things that add to your own deception? It's something to really think about. Kat, man, what you been up to this?
Well, my week has been good. My cat came back
Oh
after
yeah,
missing for 2.5 weeks. Dallas on Air is picking up, so things have been really positive for me lately.
you say the cat came back after
Yeah,
2 weeks.
after 2.5 weeks
It just came back on his own.
on his own, man. He was missing, skin and bones, lost all of his
Oh
weight. He
man.
was, yeah, he was missing for a long time, and he came back this past Wednesday. So it's been a
Oh man.
been
Well,
a
it's
good
good that he
week.
came back. Man.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm one thing. I'm a dog man. So I raise dogs and stuff like that. But here lately, I had been doing studies on cats. Like the Egyptian cat Baptiste and stuff like that. So it made me
Really?
really look at it differently. But I still haven't been able to just warm up. And
To get in a cat.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I respect them a whole lot more than what I did in the past, though. Animals are real good, spiritual omens and things like that. So
Oh,
paying
absolutely.
attention to them, man, it teaches us a lot about ourselves. So it's good to be, to really pay attention to them, if not anything else. So I've been trying to get into a lot of different things, learning a lot of different things, especially when it comes to nature. Just to get back to the naturalness of myself. You know what I mean?
Do you have a garden? Have you started a garden this spring?
A garden?
Yeah.
Man, nah, I ain't got no garden because,
Man, that is like the epitome of getting back to nature.
man, it's something that I want to do. But, I'm in a loft, so, I can't do no gardening or anything like
Yes,
that.
you can in a loft. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I have, I mean, it's not a garden. I want to get a real garden for my backyard, but I have about 100 house plants in my house. You just
Wow.
need grow
I
lights.
mean, I was big on, I had some plants and things, and just really, I gotta give me some more. I had some, and I was learning how, I was learning on how to grow plants and stuff, and I had got an ivy plant, and it grew pretty big, pretty long and everything, but I couldn't get rid of the gnats or whatever like that, so I wound up just getting them out the house, and I said I got to start over, do something, man. But yeah, it's something that I like. I really like plants and stuff like that. I've been into
Yeah.
that for a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You definitely feel in tune with nature when you have a garden. That's for sure.
I thought you were like talking about like growing vegetables and
Well,
stuff
I
like that.
am. Yeah, because it's springtime now. So now you can
Yeah,
do like those garden towers that they have for lofts and stuff, and you can get a
yeah,
grow light. But yeah, we used to have a garden in our loft like 8 or 9 years ago.
yeah.
So it just when you have a garden, you get to watch the plants grow and you get to tend to them and water them. And I feel like that's really getting.
I think that's the biggest thing, man. Is like learning to take care of something else.
Yeah.
That's not what we consider, like human. But and really beginning to find a life in those things, it'll make you appreciate things a whole lot different, a whole lot better, and have a broader aspect, on things just the same. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy too, because they've done a study on plants and their vibration. Have you ever seen that?
nah, I have to
Man,
check into that.
it is crazy. They did a study with two different rooms of plants. One room of plants, they screamed at the plants, cursed at them, talked hateful to them, and the plants didn't have any growth rate.
Oh, for real?
Oh, it was horrible. They were doing awful. In the next room, they played classical music. They told the plants they loved them. They gave them nurturing, words.
Right.
Those plants thrived. So you really do have a connection, it's crazy, the vibration of things. So,
Right.
and every morning when I wake up, I talk to my plants. I'll see a new leaf coming in and I'm like, oh, I love you. You're doing so beautiful.
Yeah. I think that was, it's crazy, man, because when I was growing that ivy plant, I used to have a hard time in the beginning picking off the dead leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to realize, like, if you don't, then you're going to kill that vine, you're going to hurt that vine. So even learning, the proper things to do, it shows you a lot about the properness, and the steps of life just as well,
Nurturing and caring. Yeah.
Exactly, so, man, that's a big thing right there. But I want to, I want to do like a garden, like in a home, like in a yard, to really get that full outdoor, that nature vibe.
Yeah.
And man, really learn on how to tilt land or something like that. Being from the projects, we ain't got no opportunity to do nothing like that. So,
Yeah, no,
that wasn't something we
seriously.
did. Nah, for real, it
Yeah.
was like growing up in particular areas and conditions, you miss a lot of things, about life. You don't have that opportunity like that. So, you got to be able to teach yourself as you grow and and you begin to know and you begin to learn better. So, man, that's just one of the things that me for myself that I want to be able to do, and that's learn how to, garden, you know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
we're going to go to a quick break. Man, we're going to play a video and then we're going to come right back.
I can go far, I can go far, I can go far. Hold my name. I can go far. Many sun, many moon, many moon. Seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. Same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Spent many years in the field, going to war for my name. Many nights, got lost in the rain. I can't complain, it wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad, gotta turn the bad into good. Ain't what it seems, but it should. All day living, children dying, father leave, mothers crying, family turning on their own. Baby too weak, be strong. Lady too soft, be hard. Then you gotta finish what you start. Say many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. Same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Waiting in the wall, looking for a lead to the other side. Gotta pray hard, When I got God standing on my side, I can go far, Stuck in my thoughts, over my pride like I got faith. Hating my name, trials and tribulations, patient time got me pacing, heartbreak. Ain't nobody there when I really need them. It's crazy. Used to be the talk, I don't hear a word. It's so quiet. That's so crazy. Many sun, many moon, seas unchanged, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing to make it same thing that make you cry. Many sun, many moon, seasons change, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. The same thing that make you laugh, be the same thing that make you cry. Spent many years in the field, gonna war for my name. Plenty nights, got lost in the rain. I can't complain, it wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad, gotta turn the bad into good. It ain't what it seems, but it should. Hard day living, children dying, father leaving, mothers crying. Family turning on their own, baby too weak to be strong, lady too soft to be hard. Then you gotta finish what you start, saying many times.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over
I knew it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my
All right, man, we back. That was a quick video, man, from Marcus Mack, Many Moons. We have our special guest in the house, Kanta Sykes with Kreative Unicorns. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Long day.
Long day?
Yeah.
Man, you know, I had, well, Kat, you know what I mean? Kat had told me about you and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said it would be a good thing that we'll probably hook up because we were like kind of in the same area.
Right.
So when she gave me information, you know, I was like, well, I don't know anything about it, so let me go look her up and see what's going on. You know what I mean? The first thing I seen, I was like, wow. I said, yeah, she dope. She in the same thing I'm into. You know what I mean? And then I just started looking. I said, nah, she in a whole lot more. You know, but man, I seen that you really doing a movement though. You know what I mean? Like with women.
Yeah.
You know, what is that all about?
Well, I mean, you hear these things about, you know, women being a rock and women being the supporters and leading our kings and all this stuff. But we've gone through so much individually and as a collective, whether it be traumatic relationships or family things, family trauma, and you know, we support y'all, we love y'all, you know, but we could be there, be there for y'all a whole lot better if we heal. And in order for us to heal, you know, we need a safe space. And you know, at some point, you know, we'll get up on our kings, but because I'm a woman, I mean, that's my first line of defense is to get as many women as I can together in a safe space so we can start talking about different things that could, I guess, make us better versions of ourselves. So like I have my extension of Kreative Unicorn, which is Release and Embrace. And that's, well, right now there's one, we're talking about mindfulness and intention with a friend of mine named Jocelyn that's out of, well, she's outside of Texas. And
It ain't the Jocelyn.
no, no, Lord, no. But we got a group of women together right now that our focus is to kind of get them to tap into themselves and be a little bit more aware of who they allow in their inner courts and how to heal from certain things, I guess, that we might automatically lean into that might not serve our highest good.
Right.
So. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing right now. And some of it was inspired by my own personal situations that I've dealt with in the past. I just turned 41 in March, first week of March. Okay. And I want to say 2-3 years before that, you might not have met me.
Right.
So instead of just making it one of those, oh, you know, let me tell you my sad story, stuff I went through, and here I am. Instead of it ending there, I'm just like, well, I realized that some of the stuff that I've dealt with and, you know, how hard it was for me to move past it, instead of just sitting in that going, yay, good, you know, good job to me. You know, I'm where I'm at right now with us talking like this. I'm like, well, let me find a way to inspire and motivate other women, because one thing I will say is I wish I had who I am right now when I was going through my stuff, and I didn't. I had ego, and I had, standard traditions like, well, you selling crystals, helping people, you can't be going through something. And I let me tell me that if somebody knew that I wasn't perfect and if I was going through something, that they were going to write me off.
Right.
And a lot of women I found out through, my process felt that way. Right. And, if you're a mom and you're dealing with drug addiction or a toxic partner or something going on with your mom or your dad, we don't want to hear from you because you dealing with something. But I mean, the meat and potatoes of all of it is, at the end of the day, we've all gone through something.
And I think that's the beauty of it all, because it takes someone who actually has been through something to be able to be a light for someone else that's going through something.
Yeah.
When you begin to understand that healing is every day, is no such thing as that I'm healed.
Right.
So when you can accept that, then you can accept who you are and where you at, and say that I can use my voice now. I don't have to wait to use my voice. I don't have to wait till I feel like I'm in a better condition. I'm in a better situation. Right. I'm in a better placement. No, I be better because I'm better within myself. That's the greatest placement of all. So now when I begin to do that, I can be expressive of that. And I can allow people to grow with me.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it all. You want someone to be able to, to experience that growth. A lot of the times what we do is like, we go and we look at people who are already established. So you only get the finished product. But the finished product doesn't work when you are going through all the steps and the phases of your own life. You're still going through the seasons. You haven't came to that package yet.
Right. And
to where that season now can be distributed out to all. So we have to have people around us, man, that's still going through it in the same, to be those guiding lights. So it's good when you have someone to say that, and even to be able to articulate why you choose women, because you're a woman. It's no different than me. I do a lot with men, but I also do it because I understand that we have to be able to balance the vibrations for one another in order to be able to be helpers of one another.
Right.
So I can't look for her to be my help. I have to look for myself to be the great help.
It comes from within. Like,
it's right.
One of the things, this young lady, oh my God. Hold on, because you gotta give me a second, 'cause I ain't got nothing written down. And my brain is going faster than my words coming out. But her name is Jaleisha Jones. She's an author. She has her book on Amazon. And one of the things we talked about was motivation, inspiration. Inspiration is internal, inspiration. Motivation, we got your Beyonce and we got your Rihanna and your Badu, and it's like, oh, look, she's doing it. That's great. That's great. And that's cool to see that. It's cool to see that man or that woman on the top of Mount Everest and us going, I want to get there.
Right.
But to really see what they went through, sleeping in their cars and dealing with toxic men and getting frostbite, climbing up the mountain and damn near breaking their leg and getting dehydrated. We want to know that I'm not the only one dealing with that, because we get to certain points in our journey where we're like, we want to quit. We want to be done. It's too hard. And it's already bad that we got generational curses. We got stuff that we're carrying with us that we don't know how to detach ourselves from to make the space to get to these goals that we want. And it serves me to be a regular person or to be a Jocelyn or a Jaleisha and be able to see their story and be able to go, well, damn, I didn't even know. Thank you for sharing.
Right.
Damn, I didn't even know you was in jail, girl. What you talking about? And it makes us more relatable, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're going to hope at some point you will, get somebody like a Beyonce sitting here. But somebody like me or you, we're everyday people. We at the store rubbing elbows with the next person. And for them to feel inspired or motivated to say, hey, you seem bright, and you seem like you tell me your story, and us feeling like it's our duty almost to go ahead and share it and be transparent, like that in itself is motivation, because a lot of times I know for me at a certain point, ego was like, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, because people gonna look at you sideways, and this one ain't gonna want you and ain't gonna buy from you. Like at a certain point when I started my business, it'll be 4 years ago, I took away my goofy videos, the cursing, the colored hair, the tattoos was covered up, because I felt like I needed to be a certain person to attract a certain crowd. But at the end of the day, these people that are attracted to those types, and it's okay to be, holy and all that stuff, but the people that I'm trying to reach, the men and women that I'm trying to reach, and the kids that I'm trying to reach, they're not built like that.
And man, hey, y'all do know, man, we are live, and you can call in if you really want to ask Katana anything, man. You can call in on the show. The number is 469-708-8609. Again, that number is 469-708-8609. Man, you know what you had just said. It's real important, but you have to also. One thing I do with myself, right? I am my own star. We all are, but we have to learn how to be that star and be the mirror reflection to the other. That we all have our equal opportunity to be able to shine. Right. It's like what you do today. You don't know when you walk out of here tomorrow what may fall because you decide to walk, in a divine order. You see what I'm saying? I can very well have to have you come right back, and you can tell me, well, I can't because I got to fly out and.
Right.
You on that Beyonce level,
right? And that's being in alignment, because that's something that I was struggling with recently. Like, I have a goal, and I call it the ashy audacity to have specific steps that I was going to take, people that I was going to work with, and channels I was going to go through to get to that goal. And I had to kind of sit down and realize that the universe might agree with me with what that goal is, but how I get there, it's not going to be exactly how I thought it would be. And it's one of those moments where you be like, dang, I thought we're not going to do this.
Right.
Okay, well, damn. All right, well, what we doing then? And it took me a while. It took me a toxic relationship in New Orleans. It took me a toxic one here in Dallas. And it took me recent failed friendship to realize we're agreeing with you that this is what you're supposed to be doing, but it's not going to go like this. Yeah. And, when we talk about, and you see these, I don't even know what you call them, it's a lot of the kings that do it. Some of them, like, they have this, we got to, as women, relinquish control and just let them tell us what we're supposed to be doing. But it's not about that. It's about us relinquishing control within ourselves. Like, when we say we want to do this, just say you want to do this, and that's the goal. Like, I really feel like that's why I'm here. Because you would have asked me a couple of months ago, no, this wasn't on the docket. Like, what, a radio station for what? What is this?
And it's funny because I have some very unique friends, and man, I'm big on accountability. And holding each other, accountable for who we are and what we're growing into, because we need that. We don't always get the support where we feel like the support should come from, but you have to be recognizable of that and trusting that, and allow it to challenge you to your greater good. But there's a lot of us, who has been in those phases and not at that point to where we're ready or we feel that we're ready to be able, man, to tell our story. With me, it was something that I did openly and honestly. It was about being authentically me through the whole point of my life. If I allowed you to see me do everything that, quote unquote, people would feel like, was hellacious. If I did everything in your sight that people would feel like, was criminalistic, then as I began to make my transitions, I should be able to do that in your eyesight just as well. It was nothing for me to feel like I wanted to hide something, but to be open about it. Why? Because, man, we are just living examples of one another. And how can another person learn? How can another person feel that they can if everything that you're doing, you're hiding and not being transparent? So I'd rather be transparent about myself and utilize myself as that, as that example for anyone, because that's how we're able to be reached, and you want to be able to be reached when you know that you're trying to do something. You've been through something. You've been, your traumas. You know what I mean? What made your triumph?
Yeah, yeah. It's
So people need that.
It's the weak points, I think, that seem to be these days seem to be more relatable than the strong points. Because you could come on your show and be like, "Yo, it's me. This is what." You might connect with some people. That's cool, but we want to hear about, the struggle.
Yeah.
What was the thing where you woke up and was like, I'm not happy here. This is not who I am. I am not feeling this at all. I am not happy. I'm not at peace. I need to reassess my circle. I need to reduce the size of it, whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they have these goals, and the fear, there's a lot of fear in detaching yourself from people. Like, I have a couple of people that I connected to through trauma, which is okay. On a platonic level, it's okay. Like, oh girl, he did that to you, girl. My ex did that to me too. Oh girl, I used to do, and that's cool. But when you start to heal from it, you start to open these new doors. And I notice when you start opening these new doors, you have no choice but to detach and disconnect to make the space. That's why my thing, release and embrace, time to make space. Right. Because the analogy I always give is, imagine you have a stadium. It's your stadium. And, Trainsition Stadium, whatever, and you've got these seats in the stadium. Some of them, the seats is broken down. The little bottom part is missing off this one. You got this chick, you don't even remember dating this chick, but she's sitting in the seat. This one snuck in the back. He didn't even pay for a ticket. This one here, because it's your brother. And you got all these people. And then outside of the stadium, you got people that have paid good money to sit in your stadium, and there's no room for them.
Right.
But these are people that need you and you need them. But you stuck with this my dude. I know him from the dirt, and we have to come out of that, because the worst thing, and this is a inspirational artist that I listen to, Toni Jones, Toni Jones, and she said nothing is more painful than staying the same. And I'm sure you heard, a definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Like, you have to understand, like, it's not personal. It's a spiritual choice. It's a choice that you're making to improve your way of life. And when you improve your way of life, you're going to have somebody, oh, you funny. Oh, you got your little radio show. You got your little crystals, and you think you hot stuff, and you can't, and you have to let that roll off of you, because unless you own some grimy stuff,
right,
if you're really doing it because you're trying, you woke up one day and you're like, I'm not feeling this is not, I don't want to perform in this environment, and you start cutting people off, and you don't have to do it so aggressively. You don't have to go through your phone, but like, I'll talk to her no more. You could literally be like, look, whoever you pray to, or universe, or ancestors, or spirit guides, whatever, be like, look, I'm trying to transition to something greater. I'm trying to reach my absolute best self. Yeah. And I need you to remove whoever is in the way.
And the crazy thing about that is, though, like, see, the universe know you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And sometimes it pull you on you to get you to do what you have to do. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, like, just what you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. I knew that I had came to a point to where it was time for me to let go and relinquish some things. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I was holding on because I felt like I needed these things, right?
Yeah.
But I knew that I was, and it's crazy because you know how you can hear somebody physically, like your mom will say something like that. Stop doing that, don't do that. Go over there and go get that. You're going to go do it. Bring it back because you heard her and it was physical. Mm-hmm. But then when you hear it internally and it tells you, then you have a tendency to ignore because it's the unseen. Mm-hmm. But that's the faith base. Yeah. And so that's what you have to begin to start to listen to and tap into, and then exercise that and just take that leap of faith. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because when I heard it, I also heard, when I say the universe is funny, I heard someone say, you ain't gonna do it, Trump. So I was like, you got me fucked up. You know?
It's a challenge.
So it's
Right.
like, man, you have to realize that it embraces you how it knows you. And so you can embrace yourself the same way and stand up to yourself and challenge yourself outside yourself to do those things, man, that you do go into that creative space. So you can cultivate and create that was meant for you to be able to do. But we're going to take another quick break and go to another video right quick, and then we'll be right back with Kanta Sykes.
All praises to the Most High. I've been raising my vibration, yoga meditation, just sticking to the basics, living in the matrix. It's cynical and crazy, but I've been swimming in amazement, writing all these verses, reversing all my curses, walking in my purpose, doing it on purpose. I'm sure, I'm certain, I'm pure, not perfect. I rise in service of God, I'm a servant, take me high. All praises to the Most High. I've been hustling my whole life. I know the struggle, I know both sides. I'm at your neck like a bow tie. I don't know death, I'm pro-life. I cannot stress, I'm so love and so light and so bright, and me and God are so tight. The light of my life, I'm reaching new heights while I'm reciting my wife. I'm going bravely, ooh, I'm doing greatly. Life's amazing, I guess it is what you make it. This is prayer, this is affirmation. I've been healing, I've been feeling, I've been raising my vibration. I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been patient, y'all. I've been raising my vibration. I've been healing, I've been praying. I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been stacking, I've been saving, I've been healing, I've been praying. Meditating, affirmations, I've been raising my vibration. I've been hella patient, meditating, lighting, saging, elevating. That's amazing. Dedication, self-preservation. I'm a walking revelation for every agent in the matrix. I'm a king, I'm a lion, I'm a giant, I'm Messiah, I'm in Zion, I'm prolific, I'm so gifted. I see the vision in my third eye, it's so vivid. I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been patient, y'all. I've been raising my vibration. I've been healing, I've been praying. I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been stacking, I've been saving, I've been healing, I've been praying. Meditating, affirmations, I've been raising my vibration.
Once neglected, now protected, most respected and reflected. Yeah, I've been raising my vibration, healing the hurt, doing the work, never revert, to whack vibes that came first. Peace in your mind, peace in your soul, peace in your home. Keeping it real enough to grow, that's how you'll know. You're raising your vibration, that's how you'll know. Yeah, you're raising your vibration. Transfiguration, out of stagnation. She remembered who she was, that's a daily affirmation. Don't be mistaken, you're still evolving and amazing. Rebirth and genesis, just like a chrysalis. Journey in grace, protecting your space. Trust your intuition. In the liminal space, your ancestors been waiting. Your higher self been praying day by day. Keep raising your vibration, yeah.
I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been patient, y'all. I've been raising my vibration. I've been healing, I've been praying. I've been raising my vibration. I've been patient, I've been waiting. I've been stacking, I've been saving, I've been healing, I've been praying. Meditating, affirmations, I've been raising my vibration.
Right, man. We back, man. That was Raising My Vibration, man, by Landrell. We here with Kanta Sykes. We're gonna keep the show rolling, man. Kreative Unicorn. Tell us about the name. How you get the name?
Well, I don't know if she's listening, but I had a whole high school friend that recommended the name because she said I was just so different. That was the reason, and I just spelled it with a K just to be extra. And I mean, I didn't want the name to necessarily have anything to do with crystals because I knew 4 years ago that I was gonna be doing more than that. And I mean, that's literally where the name came from, like just being creative and just coming up with random things and being a rare breed, I guess.
Like, what got you into the crystals, though?
A pass-through cable bill. Wait. So
You got to explain that.
growing from toxic situations, I was in a situation with somebody when I was living in New Orleans, and long story short, it was better for me to just come up with the money for bills. I was instead of leaving, this is what instead of, it was hard to ask this person to help me with bills, even though we lived together. So instead of asking, I just came up with the money on my own. And I was sitting, it was 2 a.m. I was sitting in my little creative space. My dad had recently passed. My mom had passed. And I had got a box that had some rocks at the time. I didn't know what they were. Like a purple rock, which turned out to be amethyst, and a brown rock, which was tiger's eye.
Right.
And I went on Comcast, and it said my cable's about to get cut off, my internet, and I needed it because I was starting to create, and I was on Etsy and all that, and I saw I was about to be past due, so I reached out to the girl that gave me the name, my best friend, Tevia, that I went to high school with, and another classmate of mine, and I had rapped. I mean, it was struggle rap. It was nothing like I do now. And I was like, it was like one was $10, one was $50, whatever the total was like the $80 bill.
Right.
And it was like, what, you making stuff? You selling stuff? Girl, yeah, send me the invoice. I got you. And I thought about it, and I was like, could I do something more than just like freak out over a bill and make some stuff? And I want to say it's about 6 months in, I decided to reassess my intentions for doing it. And it really got started from a past due bill. That's how I got started.
It's funny, man, because it was like, even when I had got into it, it was unintentional. I was like, I had got to a space where I was dealing with some things. And I had some people, who was already on their spiritual journey who kind of like guided me into some, into some things. But when I started buying and looking at stuff, like, I'm going to like Hobby Lobby, Michael's and all this stuff. So I got some stuff on. I'm like, why this change? That's, so it made me look at it like, that ain't real, or, So I said, let me look into it for myself. And then when I began to look into it and I began to look up the stones, then it began to like spark something, and the more that I began to learn about it, I began to more to realize how I was connected in energy with so many, in so many different levels. So then I was like, you know what? There's no really way that no one just belonged to no one thing, when we so, universally divine, we all. So for me, as I began to start to like, studying them, then I began to realize they told a story. They begin to really tell you about who you are and where you at and what you're going through. The more that I did that, the more that I wanted to just tell somebody. But I was at a phase that I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Like, because it's like you're gonna go from being a criminal to doing music to messing with, theater, then now you coming over here and you doing crystals.
Right.
It was
and the way the world is built, it's like ain't nobody gonna try to hear that.
Yeah,
that sound fun. Yeah.
And it was like I always, I used to listen to what people would say about, about myself and how they viewed me. And whether I would say anything about it or not, I still wore it. Like if people say, feel like they're afraid of you, I will wear that. Like, what you afraid of me for? Like what I do to these people, anything like that. But what that would do was make me shine on myself. And when I began to come into a space where I realized, man, I know I didn't know. I know it's a whole lot more people. But I know it's people who will listen, but this is just different, you know. So it got to the point to where I'm always been my own, you know, walking that, you know, billboard.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I never forget a young woman. I was doing security at this job, and this young lady was in a diesel. Her name was Elisa, and she looked at my songs and asked me about it. And she asked me, could I make something? You know, and I was like, yeah, I do it. Like personal 101 was so easy for me. I
Right,
could do that,
yeah.
but to get out, you know, and I wasn't at that phase yet. And I made it for it, and she brought me a unk, you know, just on a string. And she was like, could you turn this into a necklace? I ain't never did that before. I was like, I don't know if I could do that.
Right,
you know, so
right.
here it is now. I'm doubting myself, you know what I mean, and everything. I'm like, I don't know. And she said, you can do it. She said, I believe in you. I trust you. You can do it. And she was like, you just don't know. She was like, your work is going to be known worldwide. Your work is going to touch so many people. It was somebody just giving me a small, simple spark of belief in me where I knew I wasn't believing in myself that made me believe more into myself to step out and do what it is that's in my heart to do. You know, and that's what led me into doing it, into just, here it is. You know, and from there, I didn't care.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's something to say about somebody seeing something in you that you don't see in yourself. It could be something that could be flipped the other way and you could be taken advantage of. Because I have been there 1,000 times. But, you know, it's just like, you know, it goes multiple ways. You know, you have somebody that's just like, girl, you rapping these rocks, like, go get a real job. Or, you know, big 5 head, you know, whatever. And if that's not how you feel about you, then it really doesn't matter. Just like if you think, yeah, I can't make this into a necklace. I don't know what you're talking. If I say you can do it, I got faith in you, and you don't think you can do it, and you don't have faith in you, I mean, hopefully I inspire you to really sit down for a second and think about, can I really do this? But a lot of times, like, if you don't have it in you, there's nothing that I can say. So it's just, you know, we might go through things in our lives as, you know, children, young adults, you know, adults that have put us in a place to doubt ourselves. And well within our right, we should be, because mama told us we wasn't, you know, or whoever. But when we get to a point where we start questioning, like, am I really a bum? Am I really incapable of doing that thing? Am I really going to just be stuck here? I don't think so. And when you start putting that out, you'll start being surrounded by people that are going to genuinely tell you, like, no, I think you'll be all right. You can do it. You can do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. You have a gift. And then, you know, kind of hyping yourself up. And if it starts from within, great. If it starts from, you know, external, that's still good too.
Right.
But that's why I was saying with the thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to create the environment where we're surrounded by people that get it. Like, you might have gone through the thing by yourself, but you don't have to heal from it completely by yourself.
Right. And for me, I kind of like wordplay is everything, right? And it what allows people to be able to, you know, gravitate then or later. And for me, it's all about accountability. I realize if you say accountability, that's something that a person can understand naturally, you know what I mean? But actually what it's doing is that you're gravitating to your soul tribe and understanding what that is. You know, we're so big on tags and words, like family, to where if I say family, I'm going to hold that here.
Especially this.
Right.
We be big on family. Big on family. Yeah.
So, and not even understanding that these could very well be the things that hurt me the most. These could very well be the things that hold me back the most. So I have to be able to find the family within my spirit, not the family within this.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it looks different. And because you begin to do that, quite naturally, it'll look different outside too. And you may be, you have to go through some things, but you have to trust that process, right? And so this is why I say accountability, because when you have someone who you know holding you up for you to do you, you know what I mean, and cheering you on to do you for you, then you begin to resonate with that different than me resonating with somebody cheering me on because they want something from me, or they doing it because they believe that they have a entitlement to me or something like that, you know. So it's understanding the difference and being able to, man, to really, you know, show that. And that's what we're doing. We just finding our soul tribe, because those are where you're going to get that inspiration. That's where you're going to get that motivation. That's where you're going to get that assistance. That's where you're going to get that help. That's where you're going to get that real hand. That's where you're going to get that balance of life. You know, so you have to ask yourself these things within inside yourself, that where I'm at, am I getting all of me here? You get what I'm saying? It's like, how can I look for the best to happen, but I'm not putting myself in the best place for it to happen?
But I mean, you gotta, when people, you know how, I mean, I have a younger sister,
Right.
and she and I just healed individually and as siblings a couple of years ago. Like, I couldn't be in the same room with her for a day. That was too much. Like, I couldn't stand her. I could not stand her. We did not get along. But when we got to a point where we started living for ourselves as individuals and setting like my mom used to always say, you got to set the example, Kim, you the big sister. I wasn't trying to hear all that because I didn't like her. Like, what do you mean? Go get another sister, take her back to the hospital. And we're going to have to, you know. But when we started getting to, as individuals, setting the bar for ourselves, leading as an example for ourselves. Like, you know, when I say I like doing this for myself and I like feeling this way with myself, we start not only attracting people that resonate with that repeat that, or, you know, similar. That's how you attract your soul tribe. And with my sister and I, it was like we had to have that happen first.
Right.
So when somebody came into our life talking about, you know, here go this ham sandwich, like, well, I don't even eat that because that's not what I'm gonna give me. And we were able to tell the difference and be able to say, you know, this is not what serves me. This is not what I want. And that's one of the other things that inspiring yourself, you know, within, that's why it's so important. And it's kind of hard if we have allowed the world to put a price tag on ourselves for however long, whether it be platonic, romantic, roommates, family members, you know, because especially in the Black community, you know, you go to the cookout, you need to hug him, that's your uncle, and you need to be nice to this one because it's your grandma, and we get told that that's what we have to do. But we get to a certain point where we start serving ourselves and speaking our own love language.
Right.
And that's kind of how, I mean, we do it for other stuff. Like when you go to the store to buy a shirt, and the man says, here go this extra small, like, you know damn well that's not going to work for you.
Right.
So why would you even, you know, if you wear, you know, a certain size shoe, when they try to hand you a 5, you're going to be like, no. Right. So why are we not applying that in our everyday life? Exactly. Or, you know, on social media, say you got somebody on the live saying some negative stuff. You're going to hit that little button and block them and we're going to be done. But why are you not doing that in real life?
For sure.
It's a challenge because now it's ego and we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But at this point right now, I feel like our feelings have been hurt enough.
Right.
and it's created this unauthentic version of ourselves, this confused, you know, no price tag thrown on a sale rack version of ourselves.
Right.
And even though it might be odd for somebody to go, well, he used to be this, and he used to be this, and he used to be this, and now he got crystals. So what? Exactly. It's called change. Exactly. And I mean, how else does change? Like, change is not always graceful. And I mean, if it's serving your highest good, if you used to sell tacos at Taco Bell and now you got a radio station, who cares how different that is? Exactly. If it's serving you, why does it matter? And as long as you are solid on that, you're going to be surrounded by people that go, oh, he went from this to this, cool, and not have no extra stuff to say.
And I think that's one of the hardest things for people to really be able to understand is know what serves you and your greater good now. Mm-hmm. It ain't about what you done for me yesterday. It's because you have to look at, I call life Riri. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because every day, you know, you're reborn. You know what I mean? And every day, man, you have a reset. Mm-hmm. You know, so every day, man, when you go to sleep, you're actually clocking out. And when you wake up, you know what I mean, you starting over. This is a process every day. So I can't take yesterday for the day. I have to take the day. Mm-hmm. So when you begin to understand that, man, what serves my greater purpose today, and I honor that, then it's okay for me to release those things that's not good today.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to know that for myself. Otherwise, then I realize I'm operating from a hurt standpoint,
And
and
fear.
and then you're gonna take those things on, and it's gonna send you, into these spirals of things far distant from how close that you already would naturally were. So but we're gonna come right back, man. We're gonna come to another video, and then we're gonna be right back.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some
Since I
life
was a
game.
small fry, knew I had big dreams. Chasing like a rookie at the championship rings. Mama told me diamonds from the hardest to bedrock. And if I want to glow up, had to polish my spirit clean. You ain't made for all palates, taste comes acquired. You can't copy and paste, they'll control or erase your profile at the base. Get that check as if good faith been retired. Keep us silent while we serve as inspiration for higher absurd. I come from tribal women, gold fronted and baby herd. A running our tennis is a minor to may disturb. For the world without innards, gave them housing between the curves. Now the public tenants think they're entitled to the reserves. As a negative, like I'm overdrafted. Access to my assets, legislated and passed this. Craft got me teaching dudes class like the praxis. They've been trying me and my sojourners is for practice. Whole globe spinning on my double X axis. Graphite tinted grandmothers in the ashes. I'm the phoenix flinging winged prayers for my passages. Resurrecting fully blown dreams from the fractions. Rock.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
I
game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
One
game.
day.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
Yes,
game.
ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
Everything
game.
I am been diagrammed, blueprinted, and planned. Yet everybody throw it, they two cent in the can. Lot of treasure had to get off my chest so I'd expand. And heart light as a feather, and art a firebrand. No apologies necessary, qualified as a band. This is God level, judgment is out humanity's hands. Got a fan base admire my touch from the promised land. I'm tough and clutching my freedom to bust like a talisman. F your respectability, efforts to police me. I'm from where the sharp-tongued neck rolling chiefs be. Learn to run with wolves in case a shites try to fleece me. Got ice water veins from broken life, promise CC. Met a gypsy with some door knockers and a quartz rock cross the true risk. To the temple turned to a fortress cause the cost of worship too risky. Spit a universe out the mouthpiece and it seeds out my uterus. Never had a table seat so I'm chasing bread like it's sacred called the Eucharist. Every spoken word invoke women battered but never broken. Is that sharecropping hatchet toting poetry in motion. This is transatlantic echoes off the floors of salted oceans. Make me a living portrait of my sister's voices for the culture.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
I
game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
One day.
game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
Yes,
game.
ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Okay.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
I
game.
did.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life
One
game.
day.
All right, man, we back at the TRAINsition Talk Show with Kanta Sykes. And I want to send some quick shout-outs, man. Dion Johnson, Zaza, what's going on to you? Chantel, what's going on? Buck, Yolanda, Twin, Keldrick, Bella. Appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in to the show, man, and joining us. Man, I was watching your page and I was following your page, right? And I seen that you like to dance and everything. But I also saw that you had something that you was doing with a group of women, or whatever like that. What is all that about?
Well, the curator is Sheree Expressions. The name of the event or the organization is Colorblind. And the color is in reference to the different chakras. Last year, December, we did Colorblind Green, which is the heart chakra. This year, we're doing Colorblind Red, which is the root chakra. And the whole point behind it, colorblind, can't see, is to see, to wake up. And with grounding and, dance, that's how that comes in. And her whole mission is to give people a safe space to express themselves. I mean, I've been a part of Colorblind, like I said last year, but this is the first time that I've been in it from the beginning.
Right.
And the variety of women that they have, there's men too, but the variety of women primarily that are performing the different varieties of how they express themselves is just like.
And where y'all hosting them at?
There's, where is it? In Dallas, the main one's in Dallas. And then Indiana, they're redoing Colorblind Green in Indiana with this, the guy, he's on Instagram, Minty Bongwater. He's focuses a lot on self-care, and he makes these bomb-ass teas and stuff. You gotta follow it, but it's Minty Bongwater. And it's just, there's a lot of performances, there's a lot of dance, there's spoken word, there's singers. There's a lot of vending opportunities, different people, painters, there's photographers there's people who sell crystals, and it's just a space for you to really be thrown into the importance of staying grounded and staying balanced and just self-expression.
You got to let me know the information so we can get those information out there to people, you know what I mean? So those who want to be able to, join in. We got a caller? Caller.
Who that?
Who that be?
Hi.
Hey, caller.
Hi, this is Dion.
Hey, Dion, what's going on?
Listening to the show. And I'm driving, so I've been trying to call in, but I have bad signal. So if I cut off, I'm sorry.
Oh, you good? What's going on?
I'm just listening. And how you pronounce her name is?
Katana.
Then try to figure out how to pronounce her name.
Katana.
That's it. Yes. I'm just so wild and amazed about her story, and I'm also from New Orleans.
Hey, I hear the accent. What's that, little baby? I heard it, but I wasn't gonna say nothing.
And you are telling my story like I have chills and tears in my eyes. I'm so happy, man. Oh man. Did so much, and I had to start loving me and putting me first, and I'm still fighting for that. And them tags, taking them tags off of people, that's the most important thing. I think I had a serious people pleasing problem. Because places I'm going, and I want to go in places I know I'm going, trying to take other people with toxic relationships, family toxic relationship, friends toxic relationship, spouses, kids. I'm still going through some things now, and the reason why I'm calling, because earlier in the show you were talking about accountability and having people being around you and finding your tribe. I haven't done that yet.
You have did that though, Dion.
Hi.
You have did that though. I'm always, I've been here in your corner, man. We already had these talks. So, you just got to be the one to really go and actually lean on that and trust that you can. That's one of the biggest things. It's like one of the things I had to learn is that we won't go and lean on the people who we know that we can lean on. We'll always go into those places where we're going to get those no's for sure.
Yep.
And that's just because I'm having too high of a respect for what it is that I can, but you have to respect yourself enough to know you belong in that placement and place yourself there. So, start claiming what it is that it naturally is so you can naturally have it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Talk yourself right into it.
Yep. And I mean, I be getting ready to say something, and I think of the person or the group of people that literally said this to me, and how thankful I am that, I mean, I'm not about to sit up here and say, oh, I sat in the middle of the ocean and meditated for 3 hours and came up with all this. This didn't all come from me. Yeah. I sat down and realized that I needed better for myself, and I literally have people and groups of people that have said these things. And I just talked to a woman the other day that was just like, sit down in silence and solitude and imagine your tribe. Imagine, calling up that radio station with that dude and that chick that day Because maybe you didn't listen to the other Tuesday or the other Sunday or the one before that or the one before that, but you decided to call in and listen to this one, and you decided you became aware that you wasn't happy with where you was at, and you visualized that speaking that, hey, this is not where I'm trying to be. Like, that's a step. That's a step. That is a step straight out the gate. And we don't like to, we forget the little steps that we make. Like I've told people, when you get in the corner and you just like, I don't feel like I'm growing. I don't feel like I'm found my tribe. I'm not happy. I'm da-da-da-da-da. Let me tell you something. Listen, you listening?
Yes.
Okay. Think back when you was too young to feed yourself, didn't know how to tie your shoes, couldn't spell, didn't know how to brush your teeth, could barely walk, was in diapers. You ain't doing none of that no more. You done made it through all of that. And as little as that might seem, you might have to get to a point sometimes where you sit down and remind yourself of the little bitty accomplishments, the things that we forget. Because we don't have our mamas and our daddies cheering us on because we got out of the bed and put our clothes on ourselves. Like, that's not really something you're going to tell a 30, 40, 50-year-old. That's kind of odd. But you got to be able to tell yourself that. And the way that that makes you feel is going to set the bar for how, the people that come into your life, and whether or not you decide to say, yeah, you can stay, or let me tell you, hold on, little baby line, you're going to have to go ahead on. Like, I don't like this energy right here. And you have to realize that it's well within your right to say, based on what I want for myself, I might not know exactly what that looks like, but I know this not it. And you said you're from New Orleans. You know good and well, you go to a seafood place and you can smell that they don't know how to boil crawfish. Are you going to buy it?
Yes.
You know straight out the gate. Yeah, they come. Who's next? Not me, sir. Don't even worry about it. And you. So if we going to do that for food, if we going to change Q93 and say, you know what, I don't want to listen to this because they got the bounce, the beat is off, and I don't like it. You need to be able to do that for our everyday life. And don't let nobody tell you, oh, you acting funny. Oh, that's not, I don't know, I thought we was cool. Well, guess what? As of today, at 7:01 p.m., we're not. Because you don't serve my highest good no more. And walk. And when you walk, you've created that space. And it might not happen instantly, might not happen tomorrow, but you have created the space. And at some point, you're going to start building the thing that you say you want to build. But you can't say, I'm not where I want to be. And I know I need to change, but I'm fearful of change. You have to embrace it. You have to. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be scary. Ask your mom, if she's still living, how scary it was to see you stand up and try to take them 2 steps by yourself as a baby. She was scared you was going to fall back and bust your whole head, but you didn't.
She listening to you now, and she on my side.
Okay. But as soon as she took her breath and said, oh, Lord, please don't, and you didn't fall, you was good, she was good, everybody was good. It's the same thing now. You just grown. That's the only difference. And it's just more in your hands. That's it. But you got it.
Yeah.
Man, Dion, we appreciate you for calling in. Hey, call anytime. I'm gonna we'll have her information. I've been sharing a lot of her stuff. You want to reach out to Katana, you can do that. You always have me in your corner. But man, I appreciate you for calling in, sharing your story just as well. But we'll get ready. We got to get ready to wrap up. We're at the end of the show.
Yes.
Before we leave, Katana, tell them how to reach you, man, and what's going on with you.
You can reach me. Best way to catch up with everything, because I got vending events. I got, like I said, colorblind. There's We Are Art. That's another event that's happening in June. Colorblind is in May. Both of them are in Dallas. But you can reach me on Instagram at _KREATIVE _unicorn UNIKORN, and it's creativeunicorn@gmail if you want to email me. But I got an open door policy unless it's at an odd time of the day. Just hit me up about anything.
Okay. Yes, I live in Dallas. Also, I'm on the out. I just moved from Dallas, but I'm like in Little Elm area.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right. I really appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you too, Dion. You can stay right there, man, as we close out. Appreciate you again for coming out, man. We're gonna keep this thing rolling the best we can, and help each other out. Hey, this is the Trainsition Talk Show. Again, man, y'all know that y'all can catch us every Sunday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Hey, like, subscribe, and tell somebody.
I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my back on the chosen few? So what I do, look at